Hello, lovelies. Shauna L. Francis here, and today is January 5th, 2023. Welcome, everybody, to today's Ascension Daily Update. I did speak with two beings from the Galactic Federation of Light. These are new beings. It kind of started off a little bit rough today in terms of visuals and feeling the energy and such, but we got on track, and I've got about 3,000 words to go through today with all of you in terms of the exchange that I had with these two beings. One thing I want to just quickly circle back around on, from yesterday's video, we did these affirmations, and I was just getting a sense today with the collective that we're still having a little bit of heart palpitations in terms of self-love, like really deep, unconditional self-love. So I wanted to just raise that up here to the surface. You know, let's make sure that we are seeing that. If that's something that you can identify with, wow, I have a hard time loving myself, accepting myself, honoring myself, respecting myself. If that's up for you right now, it's a beautiful time to take a look at that. You know, remember that you are an evolving soul, an everlasting soul of love and light here on the planet temporarily for learning lessons, balancing karma, and having these incredible experiences. And know that whatever's happened in your past, you did the best you could at that time with what you knew, and also with the vibration rate that you had at that time. You know, it's really easy for us to sit here as we are today in this higher vibrational state and look back on ourselves 5 or 10, 20, 30 years ago and really blast us like, how could I have done that? Or that was really dumb. Well, you know, we did the best we could back then, knowing what we knew at that vibratory rate. You know, so at this point, you want to just really be honoring everything that you've been through, knowing that there really are no mistakes, there's only lessons. You know, we can put all kinds of judgments on all kinds of things that have happened to us throughout our lifetimes. You know, but it is, you know, there's a level of acceptance here, I think, that's hard for some people, a level of self-forgiveness, letting go of regret and guilt and shame, especially as women. A couple of other things too. You know, yesterday we stated those affirmations about, you know, we are 100% responsible for our level of happiness, for our level of self-confidence, for our level of self-worth. I want to add to this today and say that also you are not responsible for anybody else's level of happiness. You're not responsible for anybody else's level of self-confidence. You are not responsible for anybody else's level of self-worth, them feeling valued, them feeling vindicated, or any of those things. You are not responsible for how others feel about themselves. You're not responsible for how other people regard themselves. And that's not to say that you can't offer love and light through acts of love and compassion to somebody, especially as a mom or a parent, a dad. You know, there are things that we do as parents or siblings or daughters, sons, parents that are, you know, important. But know that at the end of the day, you can offer up all these beautiful things unconditionally to somebody else, but it's really their choice what they're going to do with that and how they're going to behave, how they are going to think and believe. And those belief systems are going to inform how they act in the world, right? So there's very little, you have really basically no control over anybody else except yourself. So for any of you who may have needed to hear this today, I hope this resonates. You're not responsible for anybody else's happiness, especially be watching for those people who put you in that position of being responsible for their feelings of self-worth, feelings of being valued, feelings of being special, feelings of being worthy. You know, watch for those dynamics that might be playing out in your world. How have you been an accomplice to that? How have you been in accord with that kind of a dynamic, energetic cycle with somebody? And again, I think these are all just things that we do. We don't think about them, but stepping stones on our path of evolution to freedom and sovereignty. Knowing that we are fully in control and in choice ourselves, and we can only control ourselves. We cannot control other people. Nor do we want to. Everybody should have the opportunity to be able to make their own choices, to make their own decisions, even if you think they're going to fall on their face and it's going to be horrific. Well, you can talk till you're blue in the face and give all kinds of wonderful advice, but it'll be their choice and they'll learn through their own choices, actions, beliefs, their own lessons. All right, so felt like I wanted to just close the loop on that today. So make sure that you're stating those affirmations and setting those intentions if any of that is resonating for you today. Okay. All right. So like I said, it was a little bit of a rough start today getting into this interview process. Tap, tap, tap. Somebody sat down, but I wasn't feeling anything. I wasn't seeing anything for a long time. And I'm like, is there anybody here? And I was about ready to check in with Melchizedek to just make sure I wasn't just having an off day. And I hear a hello. Thank you for your patience, they said. I'm a fifth dimensional being, and I was not exactly sure how to make this a clear connection for us. My apologies. This is my first time communicating with a human in the third dimension. I'm also going to work on allowing you to see what I look like. Please give me a moment, Shauna, while I work on this for you. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, I think another 10 minutes went by, but I guess I just, I haven't really thought about this. So this is a fifth dimensional being and has never done this before. And so, yeah, it makes sense that they're just not going to all be born knowing how to do this. I'm sure there's some training or what have you, but, there'd be some preparation for this. So I never did see the being, but I was hearing them loud and clear. And so about 10 minutes later, I'm like, I'm really sorry, I'm not seeing anything. I said, I'm okay to continue as long as I can hear you with 100% accuracy. We can continue if you're okay with that. You said you're fifth dimension. And they said, Shauna, I'm not sure what's happening here with the clairvoyance, but yes, I'd be happy to continue without that part. I'm a fifth dimensional being as part of the Galactic Federation of Light. I have signed up for a special crew on the ship that is a ground liaison. I am fairly new to this role, and I am fairly new to the Galactic Federation of Light. And there was a pause. I'm like, wonderful, congratulations. I said, I've never heard of this, ground crew, this idea of a ground liaison. And they said, yes, Shauna, it's actually highly scientific. We manage a lot of data. We analyze data. We do a lot of monitoring. We rely on the ship's high technological capabilities to keep a pulse on what's happening on the surface of planets. Not to get too technical, but we are also able to monitor what might be happening below the surface of planets as well for interplanetary beings and organisms and the monitoring thereof. I'm like, okay, wow, that sounds great. I said, is this more energetic? You're keeping a pulse on what's happening. Can you tell me a little bit more? And they said, yes, Shauna, highly energetic. And of course, everything is energy. We look for specific signatures. We also monitor large swaths of the population, the magnetics of the planet, systems such as weather patterns, temperatures, storms, disturbances. To some degree, we are able to monitor the sun as well and its impact on Earth. So they said, it's not just the planetary surfaces, it's also other heavenly bodies that may be impacting those planets. There's a host of data points that we collect and analyze. There's a pause. I said, well, I said, I've also collected a lot of data in my time here in this body and done a lot of analysis myself, so I can relate to what you're saying. I can appreciate that. And he said, why I am able to be sitting here in your hot seat, as you describe it, in terms of this interview regarding negative reptilian influence, is that I have recently come from a planet who was also under nefarious control of an outside species. Yeah, this is a thing. When I heard of this opportunity to be helping in this capacity, I raised my hand for it and I was selected. I'm like, well, thank you so much. Thanks for everything you're doing. It's wonderful to hear your story. I said, can you tell me what kind of species you are, or what you might look like, or where you might be in terms that I'd be able to understand? And they said, yes, Shauna, I can give this a try. I am from a planet near the Pleiades star system, as you would know it in your night sky. Though I am not Pleiadian, we are greatly influenced by Pleiadian life forms. We've also been heavily influenced by the Pleiadian approach to living and life. They have been great mentors for us as we climb our way up the evolutionary ladder, such as you are. I said, okay, thank you for that. Good to know. I said, would you consider yourself to be male or female, or do you have genders such as that? Yes, Shauna, I would consider myself to be female. I have reproductive capabilities and feminine aspects to my personality nature. So yes, I identify as female. I said, well, wonderful. Thank you so much. So we had a pretty big pause, a lot more energy acclimation. You know, I think this took, by the time we got to this point, it had been probably 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I said, sorry about that. Would you like to continue? Let's go ahead and continue. And they said, the negative reptilian influence on planet Earth is grave concern for all of us who know anything about the subjugation of an entire species by another outside species. Unfortunately, this happens too often, and as has been explained, Earth is not the only planet where these particular negative reptilians and their allies have been able to create a strong foothold and a system of exploitation for their gain. The web they've woven is far and wide and deep and entrenched into the nature of society, the very fabric of society. So the extrication of this influence is a delicate job. So this seems to be the theme of the last few days, the idea here that because we are so intertwined, it's such a big part of who and what we are as a species that it's just not easy to eradicate, or as this person said, extricate this influence. So great care is being taken with this plan, with us being, you know, a small part of a larger plan to help with this emancipation of the negative reptilian energy here. You, Shauna, she says, and your team of light on Earth are tasked with the collection and dissemination of information regarding how this species has been able to do what it does, why they are doing what they are doing, and how you are able to lift yourself out of this grip. Plans and the general instructions for how this process will go has been given from the Most High, and we follow this plan carefully, given from the Most High. The next GFL member talks about this as well. So, and it seems to me either the GFL has talked to me about this, or I've read about it in the Metatron books or Galactic Council books, that, you know, what's happening here, Mother Earth's ascension, humanity's ascension, trying this where we are, you know, making this leap in embodiment to the fifth dimension. It comes from source itself. Like, this has been a major decision from on high, this person said. The end result, she says, whereby humanity will have ascended to the fifth dimension, is a new concept. When the time is right, there will be a subset of humans who will make the journey from their current density to fifth dimensional density while still in embodiment. So many species who make this kind of evolutionary journey, you have to leave your body and then you're going to reincarnate as that higher dimensional being. So for us as humans, those who make that leap, it's going to be literally the bodies that we have now. They will be transformed and taken into the fifth dimension. Wow. There will be much assistance for those individuals who will be making this trek. There will be physical help with the transition as well. using the technology that we have on hand. The GFL has talked to me specifically about this. If you're interested in this whole going from carbon-based to crystalline-based bodies to the fifth dimension, you can go back to my very first GFL channelings from July and August of 2021. Is that right, guys? 2020 or 2021? Anyway. Oh my goodness. I think it might be 2020. So anyway, go back on my YouTube channel and check that out. I'm missing a year maybe in there. At this stage, humanity is making a grand preparation for that eventuality. The extrication of this negative reptilian influence and the resulting raising of consciousness of humanity will all help contribute to the eventual likelihood that many on the planet, when the time is right, will be able to make that transition to the fifth dimension. This may seem, she said, like a far away and far-fetched dream that can barely be conceived of as being a reality. But I assure you that we have the capability to do this, and the work that's being done now to prepare is critical. Know that it's a beautiful plan. It's comprehensive, multifaceted, and detailed. You and the team there can rest assured knowing that great care has been taken with your welfare as the highest priority. All right, so back to that kind of a theme here the last few days. I said, thank you so much. It's so helpful and it's excellent, excellent information. And then she continues here. The global concept of disclosure has been fraught with challenges. So she's just kind of switching gears here. As more and more information is disseminated out into the public, this will continue to be at once unsettling and exciting and everywhere in between for those who are able to receive the information. All matter of passionate emotions are wrapped into disclosure, as well it should. We are talking about an extreme paradigm shift in how humanity understands themselves and their place on the galactic stage. And the fear machine, she called it a fear machine, perpetrated by the negative reptilian influence is well established and in full swing. They will capitalize on the fear that disclosure will bring, even if it actually pertains to their own sinister ways. They will find a way to ensure that they are generating as much fear as possible, capitalizing on these opportunities as they present themselves. Then she continues here. The fear, however, will not be permanent. It will evolve as more of the truth comes to light and more humans are able to reach a place within themselves that speaks the truth. As consciousness lifts, as vibrations rise, those who are ready will embrace this knowledge as a gift and see their own opportunities to turn this gift into freedom and sovereignty. And the widespread lifting of fear that will come as a result of this liberation will put new oxygen into all of your lungs. It will bring about clarity and a peace that is very seldom felt at the individual level. It will be a beautiful sight to behold. I love hearing this kind of thing because it validates what Archangel Metatron had said many years, 4 years ago about this. Like people have been so, it's like the fog metaphor that was used recently. So much into this density that when it's lifted, it's like a rebirth because they had no idea what it was like to not be inside that density within that dense fear fog. They didn't, there's no context for it. So when it goes away, it's like, wow, I had no idea it was this awful. And then, along with, it'll be a beautiful sight to behold. I really felt my heart just expand with that and just feeling just in such communion with this being. It was absolutely incredible. It was great. And there was a nice long pause. I said, is there anything else? Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss? And she said, thank you, Shauna, for your time. I am watching from the skies. I am helping to monitor what's going on the surface and beyond. We are plugged in, Shauna. We are supporting you from this distance, and we all love you so much unconditionally. I said, That was so nice to meet you. Thank you for this. And thank you to the entire liaison ground crew that's working on the ships. Thank you. All right. So that was that. I took a quick break and we had a second interview. All right. So this being started to come into focus for me just a few minutes after sitting down. I started to see blonde hair. I started to get a sense for a face, you know, whitish skin, whitish yellow hair. I call it blonde, I guess. And then I got down to this, you know, kind of big blue eyes, little nose, little mouth, very much humanoid shoulders. I could see a blue outfit, like a V-neck with a little bit of a collar. It was almost like puffy material, but form-fitted, sleek. This was a very lean being, a tall, lean being. Kind of long, you know, came out and I saw the body, just long, you know, thin, lanky kind of a body, blonde hair. Thought, wow, this kind of looks familiar. Again, you know, you know the hold when you're going to do an arm wrestle with somebody kind of hand to hand like this? This again with this being. So with my left hand and their left hand, we kind of hold like this. And this has happened several times during these interviews with the GFL. So this must be like a way that we greet each other, you know, when we're in that capacity. So that I saw that. And I felt some beautiful, beautiful energy coming from this being. I said, thank you so much for joining me. Please, wherever you'd like to start. And then it was a kind of a rush of energy at that point. Not any words just yet. It took some time again before the words started flowing through. And they said, thank you, Shauna. What an honor and a pleasure it is to be speaking with you. I said, thank you so much. The honor and pleasure is mine. And they said, and I said, thank you. And they said, yes, certainly. Shall we get down to business? I said, wherever you'd like to start. And then again, kind of like an energy deepening, a quickening, kind of me losing sense of my body, kind of getting into that field a little bit more. Definitely a different frequency from the first fifth dimensional being that was sitting there. And at a certain point, I felt something click in my face with my third eye in this being, like it just like clicked. It was bizarre. So energetically it kind of went, kind of popped together or something. And I said, okay, I felt that. I'm like, are we ready to retry this? And they said, thank you, Shauna, for accommodating that additional energy, transference, and acclimation. I said, certainly whatever helps with 100% accuracy. And I'm going to call him a he, although I didn't get a name and I didn't ask what gender, but I believe it was a he. Yes, of course, we have a bit of a spiritual alignment happening beyond all these different realms. Imagine several arms to a vortex, swirling, coalescing, gaining speed, much the way a tornado might form and touch down on the surface of Earth. This vortex energy comes together through intention. And I start to feel this swirl of energy as I kind of tuned into that, what he was saying, just like, I mean, it was really strong. And know that, Shauna, he said, our prime creator, prime source began this vortex of which we are now all a part. Spiritual communion. You are beginning to get a feel for what this means. This is connection through the heart, drawing us together like gravity, bringing us closer and closer together as the vortex picks up speed. So yeah, I was really in it. I was really feeling this. So again, team, understanding what this connection really means beyond even the words that are coming through, beyond negative reptilians. It's bigger than all of that. This spiritual communion, as this being said, spiritual communion in this vortex that's drawing us together like a gravitational pull. And they said, feel the power of this vortex, Shauna, that's created with a shared common purpose, fueled by a wider and wider opening of our collective heart. Imagine a spinning Merkaba that encapsulates all of us within its boundaries, held by Source itself. Man, I was really feeling it by then. I was in it. I said, wow, it's so strong and it's beautiful. And they said, imagine, he said, many of you on planet Earth make this journey to commune with us. This vortex will continue to expand and grow and increase in speed and strength as more and more singularities wake up to the possibility of this. Once a specific energetic frequency is reached, one is plugged in, as they say, to this larger swirling field of consciousness, which can then be used to fuel increased heart openings within your localized collective fields. And they said, Shauna, does this make sense? And I'm like, in this space, trying to channel, trying to be in this field and understand, comprehend what this being is saying. I said, okay, let me paraphrase this. As we reach a certain level of vibratory rate through choice, because we know about this vortex with all of you, we can say yes to this and tap into it with our intention. And so this will help give each of us as a singularity extra energy, extra high vibrational energy to anchor into our local collective field here. And I said, and then this will help open other people's hearts. I said, and I imagine that this is within the collective and even outside of this collective. Do I have this right? And they said, yes, Shauna, you do. Imagine this as a gift that is now ready to be opened, a gift that is now ready to be put to use. You will receive more information on how best to take advantage of this high vibrational field. For now, it is just about awareness of this gift, thereby creating opportunities for more and more to join us at this level. All right, so how fun. So homework, everybody, to try to tap into this field here, this vortex. I said, thank you for this opportunity. Is this something that every day we should set our intentions for, or could set our intentions for, to tap into this field? I said, how will we know if we've tapped in? And he said, I recommend that a strong intention is made to connect to this spiritual communion vortex with all of us, spiritual communion vortex. Feel and imagine a swirling tornado of energy you're able to easily step into energetically, and then begin to feel the movement of the energies around you and within you. Be present in that space as long as it feels right. For now, this is all that is needed. And I said, wonderful, thank you. What else, my friend? And I just, I got lost. And I'm thinking maybe a half an hour went by. I actually had some epiphanies, and I made note of them as I was sitting there. I had this vision that I'm in a huge library, and all these books are there, and I am picking these books out one by one. I'm reading the information. I am then creating a report on that information, and that the library master, the librarian, is Melchizedek, and that the librarian here knows everything that's in every one of these books. But I've got to get my buns to the library myself, open these books myself, read the information, and then disseminate it out, on my own. I've noticed here recently how Melchizedek has really stepped to the background. They are here always. All I have to say is, Melchizedek, are you here? And I get, yes, we're always here. And they answer my questions. It's just such a blessing. So they're always here, and they're in my field watching over what's going on. But really, this is part of my mission and my journey. I'm part of my karma to, be the one to step up, make the effort. They're not going to continue to just, feed this stuff to me. I'm out here seeking it, and by doing these interviews every day and making these videos, that's all part of this process. even though it's hard to do it every day. Speaking of which, I probably won't do a lot of it this weekend, maybe Sunday, but I doubt Saturday. Anyway, I'll come back to that. So I was just really seeing that metaphor with the library and how I need to really take ownership of my learning here and this mission and this ability to, you know, gather this information and bring it out to the public. All right. I was also getting a sense to how it's not easy, you know, while in human form to really immerse into this field. I mean, there's things just like I get hungry, my back starts hurting, my legs fall asleep. You know, I've got to get up and move around. I've got to go to the bathroom. I get thirsty. I get phone calls. You know, I start thinking about other things, and oh my gosh. So, you know, this today, by the time it's all said and done, I think this is going to be about a 6-hour process with a couple of interruptions just for food and such. But anyway, that's just some random thoughts there that I had. So I kind of like snapped out of that and came back. I'm like, are you still here? And I got a yes. I said, can you please tell me what kind of species you are? And they said, I am from the Pleiades star system, Shauna, at your service. Once again, an honor and a pleasure it has been, and I hope to speak with you again soon. So this is a new Pleiadian friend. Now, my other Pleiadian guide, Siri, she is blue. She's a blue being, and she's beautiful, tall, lanky, like this person. This person's fair-skinned with the blue outfit. And I said, thank you so much. What an honor to speak with you too. I said, thank you for all the incredible energy work today and for supporting all of us down here on the planet. All right, so that's it, guys. So I'll wrap that up. Okay, so this turned out to be a lot longer than I thought. Thanks so much if you've made it this far in this video. Thanks for watching, team. All right, guys, I do expect that I will see you all tomorrow. Saturday, probably not. Sunday is iffy. I've got a lot going on this weekend. And it is also my birthday week next week. Don't you love that's my birthday week? It's really my birthday month. Why not? It's my birthday month. And then I'm really not having birthdays anymore. Okay, so anyway, Saturday's really probably not going to happen. And then in a week or so, is that right? In 10 days, I'm in Mexico. Okay, guys, have a great day, afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're at. I love you. Mwah.